A lot of people are genuinely curious. They wonder when the first electric cars will come out with sodium ion batteries. Now, there are actually already cars with sodium ion batteries in China and other countries too. They actually use a hybrid sodium lithium battery. It's got lithium iron phosphate and sodium ion cells, around about 50% of each. And they're quite common. There's quite a few cars. In fact, there's more than 20 different models that already have those. But we don't yet have any of these new generation sodium ion only batteries in EVs. However, we do have an approximate date for when that's going to happen, and it's much sooner than you might have thought. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. CATL's new sodium ion batteries, they will be in EVs, and CATL have just given us a date. They say that JAC are going to be using them in July. So there you go. That's the 7th month of this year. And that means they're literally 6 months away. However, CATL say they'll be fitting them in cars from multiple manufacturers in the second quarter of this year. So they'll begin actually putting them into passenger cars in the second quarter. And I've got to say, if you have a choice, and let's say you could get a car with lithium iron phosphate batteries from, for example, BYD. There's a lot of different models that have BYD's LFP batteries, or you could get CATL's sodium ion batteries. I mean, you might be wondering which one is better. And I'll definitively answer that question because they're not close. There's not like but there's one is better because of this or one is better because of that. One of them just destroys the other one. So CATL say sodium ion batteries are coming in only a few months' time. And they predict there will be very large scale adoption. And considering that CATL own 40% or nearly 40% of the entire global battery market, you can bet that this is accurate. If you'd like to book a paid consultation, you can do so. And I'll put a link in the description below. If you want advice on what electric car to buy, solar systems, all that kind of stuff, you can do that. The company plans to extend sodium ion battery applications to passenger vehicles in the second quarter. It's planning on doing it in the third quarter for commercial vehicles. They in fact have four different sodium batteries for commercial vehicles, and that means buses, trucks, smaller vehicles, smaller kind of commercial vehicles, pretty much anything. So GAC, they will actually be using the GAC Aeon vehicles. Right, they'll be using CATL sodium ion batteries within a few months' time. And I recently actually did a review on one of the Aeon EVs here in Australia, which is actually a very good car. But as production capacity expands, more and more manufacturers will begin to use them. And there's a big reason why. Sodium ion batteries will gradually scale up for passenger vehicles this year, not just for passenger vehicles, but also for commercial vehicles, for energy storage, and for construction machinery. But there's a very good reason why they will take enormous market share from both NMC, particularly NMC, but also from lithium iron phosphate batteries, and that is their cost. They are cheaper than lithium iron phosphate. At this point, they're said to be about 20% cheaper, but eventually they'll be about 40% cheaper within a few years' time. And they last much longer. At least CATL's batteries do anyway. CATL say that their sodium ion batteries will give you around 5 million miles of driving in an EV. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't think I've driven 5 million miles in my entire lifetime. So in other words, they'll well and truly outlast the life of the car by a long way. 10,000 cycles is what I've been hearing, 10,000 cycles. So it's more than double the expected lifetime of most lithium iron phosphate batteries. I did a video, guys, by the way, yesterday on CATL's new sodium ion batteries for commercial purposes, light commercial vehicles, and even large commercial vehicles as well. They've got a few different sizes. What are the things we know about this battery? Well, the energy density is 175 watt hours per kilogram, which is a little bit higher than BYD's blade battery energy density. They work extremely effectively at minus 30 degrees Celsius, even at minus 40. CATL says at minus 40, the battery retains 90% of its usable capacity. Now, this is one of the big downsides to lithium iron phosphate. At minus 40, they actually often don't work. Honestly, they don't. And you'll find if you went camping and you were, say, in an area where it's minus 30, if your devices have lithium iron phosphate or even NMC batteries, good chance they'll just shut off and they won't work at all. So this is one of the big advantages of sodium ion batteries, and it's one of the reasons why some of these hybrid LFP/sodium batteries in China have been using sodium in them to be able to handle the extreme temperatures that you get in parts of China. For example, even Beijing, right? Through the winter in Beijing, the temperatures are often minus 10 degrees Celsius. CATL did not mention when they'll be deploying sodium-ion batteries for commercial vehicles, but they did mention the specs for those 4 different batteries that they have for commercial vehicles. So if these sodium-ion batteries will give you twice the lifespan of LFP, some people say more than that, if they can work extremely effectively at minus 4 degrees Celsius, and they have the same ability to work at even up to 100 degrees Celsius, and they have the same energy density as LFP, then you can see why, along with the cost reduction, the cheaper price, they will very quickly come out not just for energy storage, as a lot of YouTubers and so-called experts have been saying, but they will be in electric cars. Now, as I mentioned before, that's 2 different brands of EVs that are going to have these cars within the next 5 months. Other vehicles will have them very soon. I mean, think about it. Automotive industry margins are so slim now. We're talking 5%, 2%. The margins are minuscule. Many brands aren't making money. So if you can all of a sudden get your batteries for 10 to 20% cheaper, maybe even more than that, then would you not? Why wouldn't you? You would, right? Now, CNN Post said this. They said sodium batteries excel in high power discharge performance with temperature rise not exceeding 5 Celsius at a 5C charging rate. This eliminates the need for additional cooling in the battery system, allowing for a more streamlined thermal management system. So it sounds like CATL is saying they don't need the kind of cooling in a sodium-ion battery that you do need in a lithium battery, and that potentially is an advantage. So this all sounds really promising, right? But actually, CATL say, yeah, this is good, but wait till our next generation. They are currently working on their 3rd generation sodium battery. CATL actually unveiled their 1st gen sodium-ion battery in July 2021. That's when lithium prices were going up, right? But the energy density was relatively low. I think it was about 130 watt hours per kilogram, which is totally fine for energy storage, for big batteries that just sit there and they don't need to be small and efficient. Not really acceptable for EVs. So over the last few years, a lot of experts predicted because of that sodium batteries would not go into EVs. In fact, they predicted this would never happen. But clearly they were completely wrong. Because if they're already at 175 watt hours per kilogram, you can expect the next generation might hit at 200 watt hours per kilogram. And that would be better than a lot of the lithium iron phosphate batteries that are currently on the market. So I believe that this will drastically transform the industry. Not in the United States. I believe LFP will be the dominant battery in the United States for the next 10 years. But in China, things will be very different. Let me know what your thoughts are. Thanks for watching. Guys, if you want to install solar panels, a home battery, or a home charger, the best way to do this for your situation is to go to the links in the description below, and they'll take you to a page where you can compare everyone. So depending on it doesn't matter where you live. A lot of people email me all the time saying, well, what solar system should I get? Who should I go with? What battery should I get? What electric charger should I get? Well, click in the links in the description and you can actually compare all the different choices and find the best deal for you. I'll put that link in the description below. Additionally, there is a battery savings calculator link and also a federal battery rebate calculator. I personally have found that I'm not paying for electricity at all, and that's including charging my 2 electric cars and also running my home power, my home sauna. Nothing, not paying anything at all. And I think a lot of people are getting misled. They think that getting a battery is not worth it. Actually, I think it is worth it. So those links are in the description below.